Hello, it's Kim and Anita.
Hello, everyone. Here's Mason. Before we get started with conversations with two old broads, a word from our sponsors. Please read or get my book from Kindle, Amazon Kindle, and Anoids. Thank you. And please be on the lookout for my newest book, A Stubborn Dog, Gigi. It should be coming out in the next week or two. Thank you for your support. Now, back to Kim.
So today we're going to talk about the stimulus bill and how both parties have let the American people down, and how they just all need to go. The incumbents need to go because they don't give a damn about the American people.
When you think about how long some of these people have been in office, it's ridiculous. You know, most of us probably was children or not even born, and these people have been in office. Times have changed, but they're not changing with the times. So their thinking is way out of touch with the American people. Whether you're black, brown, white, for most white people that's poor, you know, you have white poor people. Everybody that's white isn't rich. And for them too, you know, they're not.
Come here, Mason.
People are out of touch. That's in the White House, in government now.
Yeah, I was watching the as you noticed how they ran through the Supreme Court justice. Now, I was listening to one of the commentators on the news, and he was saying it just goes to show you how they could get stuff done when they really want to get stuff done. But when it comes to us as the American people, it's like we get put on the back burner. And I just don't think that's right. I don't think that that they work for us, and they seem to forget that they work for us. And Nancy Pelosi happened to say when she was arguing with Wolf Blitzer a couple of weeks ago that we feed the American people. Well, if you feed the American people, Nancy Pelosi, then why don't you just go ahead and pass the stimulus bill? You don't have to wait for you to get everything that you want, because you know Joe Biden's going to win in the first place, and you guys are going to have the Senate. So you could have just passed the standalone bill for $1,200 for people to get a stimulus check, but you didn't.
Yeah, it's going to be a sad Christmas for a lot of people, for a lot of children. You know, they're not the people in government that's up there in Washington. They're not going to suffer. Their family and kids are not going to suffer for an empty Christmas tree. You know, it's really ridiculous the way we are being treated. You know, it seems like nobody is really thinking about the American people at all. They say they are, but their actions do not match their words.
No. And I go back to what I said before, that they need to have term limits. Because once they get up there, they think that they can dictate what the American people want and don't want. But I don't think it should be like that. I don't think the founding fathers thought that that's how it should be done, because you're elected to represent the people in your district. And if you're sitting up there saying, "Oh well, I want a bigger stimulus check," for who? Who do you want the bigger stimulus check for? I understand that the states need money. I understand that, but so does the American people. You know?
Yeah. My question to the American people out there is, what has Donald Trump actually done for you? All of his supporters, please ask them exactly what has Donald Trump done for us? You know, he tells us what he's done for us, but can you show us? You know, it's one thing to say it, but can you actually show us what you've done? You know, can somebody actually show us what he has done for them? I mean, that's crazy. You want to keep a man in office that is like I don't know, he still thinks he's on his TV show. You know, he fires people left and right. He's got people that's criminals in his in his circle? How?
I think that it goes much deeper than just wanting to keep Donald Trump in office so much. It's because, is everybody always hollers about separation of church and state, but they picked the Supreme Court justice because of her faith, so they say. But what happened to churches, separation of church and state? I really don't get it because, the so-called religious right, if you guys are really following along what Jesus said and the Bible said, then a lot of the stuff that Donald Trump has done alone would make you say he's not a Christian. And Mike Pence, that fake Christian, I tell you, he's a fake Christian. If he's up there willing to lie about what the president has done and what the president didn't do and all of this stuff, then where is his morals at?
Well, we see that most of these televangelists and Bible Belt people, preachers and whatnot, they're all talk behind the scenes. They have a whole separate life that, only comes out when they mess up. Look at Jerry Falwell. These things come out sooner or later, but how do you stand behind this people like that and give your money when they live in big houses and you barely eating? I don't understand that. How do you support them?
I wouldn't say that because the people are saying they're following the Bible, and the Bible says 10%. But again, 10%,
but that 10% is going to in their pockets for mansions and gold, diamonds, and
my
cars.
question is this, because I think we're getting off topic, but I want to say this about the 10%. If we're no longer under the Old Testament and that Jesus did away with the New Testament, then why do preachers hold on to that 10%? Because that 10% was meant for Israel to take care of the Levites, the priests and everything. So if Jesus done away with it, now I'm a believer in Jesus Christ, don't get me wrong. So I'm not going against what Jesus said. But I want you guys to think about, if we're not under the Old Testament, then why do preachers hang on to that 10% when it's convenient, when they want you to give money, when the New Testament says give what you can? It doesn't demand 10%.
Well, I think what it is that you have to realize that is a job. We have this discussion all the time at home. To me, what you don't understand about ministers and whatnot is that is a job for them.
I understand that.
And their job is a talking job.
I understand that. And I understand that there's such things as you providing for that pastor. You pay for their housing. You pay for them to get where they need to go. You pay for their food. But all this other stuff, and I understand the upkeep of the church and everything like that, but it comes a point in time to where if your pastor is living better than his parishioners, then there's something wrong. If the neighborhood that the church is in looks like total ghetto, and I don't mean ghetto in a bad way, but I just mean that there is just crime. It's a crime-ridden area. Mm-hmm. Because if you're a church, you are supposed to be the light on the hill, and everything around it is supposed to blossom within that region. But if that area is blight and crime-ridden and all that, then something's not right in that church, and the church is not doing what it's supposed to do. But I don't want to get on religion because I could talk about religion all day. I do want to talk about this stimulus bill because I think that Nancy Pelosi and Mitch McConnell cares nothing about us, and that she could have took the standalone check for $1,200 for each American, you know, and then once they won the White House and the Senate, then they could have went back and did the other bills that they needed to do. The states are going to sustain themselves. They have a way of providing income for themselves. They have taxes that they collect from people each day, from sales of gas, cigarettes, liquor, groceries, clothing, some groceries, not all groceries. But they have a way of collecting funds. The people who don't have jobs, like the American airline people that got laid off, the people that got laid off from their jobs when the COVID hit, the people who got laid off, well, not laid off, but lost their jobs because the restaurants or whatever closed down, or whatever business closed down. These people have no income coming in whatsoever. And for you to sit up there and say that you want a bigger bill for the states, please. The states can take care of themselves. It's the American people that don't have income coming in, that got to pay their rent, that can't figure out how to pay their rent. You know, that's a shame. You talk about kids being put out in the border and not being taken care of the border. Well, think about a family that gets kicked out of their home. Where are they supposed to go?
Yeah, well, the basic thing is, I think that those people need to go. Nancy Pelosi's, the Democrats and the Republicans, and we need to start from scratch. Because right now, no matter who we put in office, it's always the same thing over and over again. You know, maybe not to this extent, but, you know, as Black people, we still struggle no matter who's in office. You know, we still fighting for the same things. We're still trying to get our share. And we need to start from scratch. You know, we need to be able to, you know, see, you know, vote on these bills individually as people, not have them vote for it up in Washington, you know, because we don't have really no say-so in anything that they pass. So, you know.
Yeah, that's a good point.
You know, why can't they bring these laws to the American people? Let the American people vote on these things.
Right. Bring the laws to your constituents. You know? And what you do is explain the law to your constituents, and then let your constituents decide whether or not that should be the law that they want to follow. Yeah. You know, all this stuff about the Supreme Court and all of that, because they want to challenge this law, they want to challenge that law.
And you know, this is going to turn into a mess when the Democrats, when we get Biden in office, which I hope we do. But, you know, in Washington, the Democrats is already saying, you know, they're going to be sorry, the Republicans that put Amy
Barrett.
Yeah, put her in the Supreme Court. You know, so what are they going to do now? Make it 8 or 9 judges? I mean, where does this end? You know, it's like it's a clash. It's like having a North and South fight. You know, it's a clash. I do
believe that the United States is losing its self.
We're not the power that we're not the power no more that countries feared and whatnot.
No, and not only that, but I think it's becoming to the point to where
we're a joke.
Well, not so much, but I'm talking about within the country, within our country ourselves, that it's becoming a class warfare, and pretty soon.
There's always been a class warfare.
But not to this big of a gap.
I don't know, because if you got the Vietnam War, during that period of time, when you had the marches with the Panthers, when she wasn't born yet. But when we had to fight. You know, we always had to fight. Everything with Black people has been a struggle, a fight.
Yeah, but I'm just talking about the America as whole.
America as whole, well, they haven't been for Black people.
No. I mean, but
as
I'm
America
saying
as a whole,
that there's coming a time to where we're going to have another civil war. And it's not going to, it could be a black and white thing, but I doubt if it is. But I think it's going to be the middle class against the elite rich, you know, because really there is no middle class no more.
No.
And if some of us just live above poverty, but there used to be a middle class, but that middle class has slowly disappeared.
Yeah, but to white people, that middle class is those people that's just living above poverty. That is what they're saying is the middle class. So, you know, the little bit of people that may be living just above the poverty line, which basically is still living paycheck to paycheck. You might can buy a few extra things for yourself or go out a few times a week, but you know, you don't have money for no extravagant things or sending your child to college or anything like that. Savings, you know, there's 3 to 6 months of savings that you're supposed to have. How many black people actually can do that? And I know there are white people. I'm not a prejudiced person, so I look at some white people because I know some white people also struggle, you know, and they
Mason,
you know, they have it in some ways just as hard as we do as in living an everyday life. You know, you don't want to see a clash of blacks and whites, although what's going on now with the killing of black men is getting, and the protests, it shows that we are fighting back. Finally, we are trying to get some type of recognition and some type of, you know, being out there in the streets trying to, you know, make things right. You know, we are fighting. Basically, that's what I'm saying. We are fighting for change. You know, when you had Martin Luther King, you had the quiet protesters. But what?
you just go, go ahead, babe.
We can't do that now.
Yes, you can.
How you gonna show that?
Just go ahead. I want to go ahead, babe. Go finish your thought about Martin Luther King.
Now I forgot it. What did you want to say? Speak.
No, I'm laughing because you was just going on.
Well, you don't realize when you was going on and on in the beginning.
All right, but I wanted to say that I am for universal basic income. I was going to vote for Andrew Yang because I believe that is the best way to help society grow. Because then people don't have to fear about losing their jobs or worried about paying their bills. If we already had that in place, then they wouldn't have to worry about giving a stimulus check. You know what I'm saying? Because we would have already, you know, we would have had the money provided there for us. I would even go as far as saying as that get rid of Social Security and give us the $1,200 check a month for life.
I don't know if I would agree with that.
Well, you still got 401ks.
Not everybody has a 401k.
No, not everybody, but then that's up to you to supplement your thing. But at least that $1,200, because some people don't even make it to get their retirement, their Social Security. So that's just money that they're just using. They're using that money as loans for their different projects and everything. But if you got rid of Social Security and we still paid the same amount of money that they take out for Social Security, then everybody could get a universal basic income. I don't know if I explained that correctly, but that's what I believe could happen.
I don't know if I agree about getting rid of Social Security. Because for some people, Social Security could be more than $1,200 for one thing.
Yeah, but that's where the jobs come in and supplement you with the 401k, or you open up an IRA And I
Well,
know,
some people can't afford to, once
right,
they, depending on your, it all depends on your job, what you can afford to do.
right.
We work for the government, so, our paycheck, we couldn't get fired as easy as the average person maybe, but I don't think that, they should get rid of Social Security though. I really don't. I think that they need to find a way to make it a more uh, understandable, for one thing, how it works,
Yeah.
and then to figure out a way to revamp it, because it's been the same system for so long. Times have changed, jobs have changed, and they need to, revamp that whole system of Social Security. The problem is with us is that here in the United States, we keep the same laws from year to year to year for the next 30 years or 40 years. We'll keep that same law.
Except for the Civil Rights Law.
Right.
Civil Rights
Well,
Act
yeah.
bill.
But we have to revamp some of these laws to go along with the times that we're in. You can't just keep the same law. That's like keeping Mitch McConnell in office. You keep the same person there representing your state year after year, but your state has changed. The people in your state have changed, actually, so,
And not only that, but they get richer and richer and richer, which means that they don't understand the average person's life struggles.
No.
That's the reason why I say they should have term limits, because
Definitely.
they sit in there and get rich. They get on all these different committees. They get these lobbyists that pay them for different bills and everything. But if you give them a term limit and they don't get done what they need to get done, then go.
Yeah, but for some
Because
reason,
how is it that if I could get fired from my job from not doing my job, why can't I fire
yeah,
you?
but for some reason, these people have to they're able to make people believe that they are doing something for them. That's the thing I don't understand. How do you make people believe that you are doing something? Like, just like Trump, he has all of these supporters that actually believe that he has done something in the last 4 years, and they're going to go out and herds of people to vote for him to make sure he gets back into office. But when you ask them a question as simple as, what has he done for you? How many of them really have an answer? That's the whole thing. Where's the answer? What has Mitch McConnell actually done that would warrant him year after year after year, of being put back in office?
I say term limits.
Term limits is the answer.
And they don't get to vote on their own pay raises.
Yeah, term
That should be
limits.
left up to the people and their constituents.
The whole thing is everything that comes out of Washington should be put before the people.
Yes.
That is the only way I see that things will ever change. If we are allowed to vote on the laws that we want to vote. I mean, every law that comes out, what you vote for, you might not win, but at least you had actual say so in that law. And that's what we're missing now, is the actual voice that we don't have right now.
I do believe that we need to hold them accountable. And by holding them accountable is by voting them out of office.
All of them.
And that's what the governor of New Hampshire said. Vote them all out.
Time to go. Pack it up.
Except for AOC.
Get your wheelchair and your cane.
And the Corey lady that's about to come in. I'm for her. I'm for all the people that want to give us universal basic
Everybody
income.
older than 65, get your wheelchair, your cane, and move it on. Keep it moving. So that's the way I feel. You gotta have the times. You gotta have the laws with the times. You got young people coming up. So You know, let's give somebody else a chance. You know, Graham, I hope he's put out of office too.
Yeah.
He
I
needs
really
to
want
go.
He needs to go.
Definitely.
And Mitch McConnell needs to go.
So
Nancy Pelosi needs to go. Maxine Waters needs to go. And who else has been in there forever and a day? Dianne Feinstein,
look at some
Chuck
of those
Schumer.
people. Almost some of them almost 80 years old, probably.
Yeah. But for them to hold this, my main thing is that I'm upset with is the fact that they did not pass a stimulus bill and they thought it was okay not to. They thought it was okay, even though she said she's fighting for the American people to get bigger stimulus and all of this stuff. If you really cared about the American people, you would have took what you could have got for the American people.
Gave them something.
And worked on other stuff later, because everybody knows that you guys you're probably going to win the White House and the Senate, and you guys could have got everything done that you wanted done with Joe Biden. But no. So you go back to your little California home. Mitch McConnell, you go back to Kentucky, and I hope they vote your ass out.
And
I really do. Because for you to have sat on that bill since May and not do nothing, but all of a sudden you guys got the gumption and the know-how to get a Supreme Court justice through, this shows that you don't care.
And what happened to your hands? I want to know that too.
That's a slap in the American people's face. And Nancy Pelosi, you could play I'm trying to get a bigger check for the states and everything. Damn the states. Think about your constituents, the ones that are getting put out their house, the ones that are losing their jobs, the ones that got kids that don't know what they're going to do for their next meal. Right. And I dare you to say that, you're feeding the American people. Hell, you ain't fed me.
Yeah, there's no reason why we should have food lines miles long for people trying to get food from food banks. That's ridiculous.
Y'all is a crooked government.
It's all about money. Money is everything.
It's gonna come down to where the American people are gonna get tired. They already sick and tired. They're sick and tired of the fighting. They're sick and tired of y'all pretending to do work up there and ain't doing nothing. So, just watch and see, Nancy Pelosi. You think you're going to win Speaker of the House? There's some people in that house that don't want you as Speaker of the House. And they got a lot of people behind them. And if those people start yelling loud enough and long enough, trust me, you won't be Speaker of the House next term.
Yeah.
So you better think about what you're doing and with the constituents, because you're wrong. Both of y'all are wrong. Both parties are wrong, in fact. Not just you, Mitch McConnell, the Republicans, and the Democrats. You're wrong because people are suffering. And you guys just want to get your way to say that you did this, you did that. I don't give a damn about that.
And that's only because it's an election year. If it wasn't an election year, I don't know what would happen. What would happen if this wasn't an election year where they have to put their best faces on for the people? That's sad, really sad.
Well, we're hitting 30 minutes, so we just wanted to get on and talk about that for a few minutes. And yes, we rambled on, both of us. But we're going to start going live Sunday evenings at 5 p.m. So check us out. Sometimes we don't know what we're going to talk about. We try not to discuss things in our house so that we can have something to talk about, so that it's a natural flow conversation between us.
Right.
We don't want it to be rehearsed or anything like that. No. So that's why I laughed when she started going. I'm getting ready to laugh again.
Pop up beside the head.
But thank you guys for watching our video.
Yeah.
We thank you for supporting us. And if you want to support us, like Anita said, go on Kindle, get her book, Illinois, and
subscribe.
And subscribe to our channel.
Yep. And if you have anything that you would like to hear us go on and on about, let us know. We're very open to different conversations. We want to put out what you want to hear about.
Right.
And
if you want to support me, you can go to kimstoycloset.com and order a toy. Christmas is coming. I don't want to try to promote my store too much on here, because I really want it to be about conversations with us about how we're thinking and how we feeling, and we just want to express to you guys. This is just our way of outletting our frustrations to you guys.
Yeah. So subscribe and let us know.
And we're going to try to come up with a theme song, and we're going to try to come up with an intro and an outro.
Yeah, just give us a little time, and we're new at this, and
we've been doing this for a year, baby.
Don't listen to her.
Well, we started the channel back in 2000.
Yeah, but I wouldn't count that.
Yeah,
but subscribe and let us know what you want to talk about. Put it in the comments, and maybe we'll talk about that on,
There's a lot of stuff that we could talk about. We could talk about the shooting with the guy. We could talk about what's going on with Tasha K and Storm Monroe, about that whole thing.
Yeah, I saw that yesterday. That was, that was something else.
But we're not into celebrity gossip or anything. We just want to talk about what we want to talk about. What's bothering us, and whatever you guys want to talk about. But we could talk about anything. You know.
Yeah. So
thank you.
Yep. We'll see you next time.
See you Sunday, 5 p.m.
Bye-bye.
Eastern Standard Time.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Have a good day.
You too.